Okay, so we're doing linear models today. So modelling just means they're putting a practical application to it. So instead of having y and x, they'll become something like x will become time and maybe y would become cost or something like that. So we're just putting a practical application. When we say linear, that's just the math term for straight. So we've been doing straight lines. So nothing new there. All right, so let's have a look at this model question. So a seasonal worker gets paid $10 plus $2 per kilogram of tomatoes that they pick. If the worker earns P dollars for N kilograms of tomatoes picked, complete the following. So it says write a rule for P in terms of N. So when you see this P, what this P is going to be, it's going to become like the Y, because we want to make a formula that says the price equals. So we normally have it's Y equals, don't we? So now we know that price is the Y, and therefore we know that N must be like our X, yeah? So normally we see this pattern for a straight line, mx plus c, but now we're going to use, instead of X, we're going to use N. So let's go look at the other things. So if you have C, if we think about our C value here, when we draw a graph, a normal graph, say a straight line, and say we've got something like that, isn't the C value where it crosses the y-intercept? Is that true? Yeah? So this value is the C. At that point, when it crosses the y-intercept, what does x equal?
0.
X equals 0.
1.
Good. So if you had over here, if you had x equals 0, you're going to find out what the C value is. So up here, when you're reading the thing, what do they have to pay before? What do they get paid before they pick anything? So 0 number of tomatoes, they still get a certain amount. What is it? It's $10. So you can see that $10 is like the C. So you can pop that in there, so you know the price equals, now it's something, the gradient times N, but we now know, we now know that this is $10. Now let's think about this gradient. This is the M value. Remember when I said that the gradient, the M value, well, it's the gradient, but I remember I said you could also refer to it as the rate. And remember when I said look out for the word per, it's probably telling you what a gradient is. So can you see up there in the words, where does it say the word per? Can you see it? Yeah, so see there, $2 per kilo. So what that actually is, that is your gradient there. So now this is a formula to find the price. The price equals $2 per number of kilos of tomatoes plus 10. Okay, so now we've got the rule. That was the rule for part A. Part B, they want you to sketch it. So remember, in your test, you need to have your little ruler here. So you'll need to sketch your graph. Now, if you have a look, I'm only drawing this side of that axis. I'm not drawing this bit here or here. Why do you reckon can we have negative amounts of kilos? No. And can we have a negative price?
No.
Not really, yeah. So we're going to start there. So now let's sketch it. So what we can do when we sketch it, we can first we might do the y-intercept, which is that one. So what you can do is you simply go put a line. We know that's when n is 0, and put 10. Because we need another point, I'm just going to make one up. So I'm just going to say, what about if we had picked 10 kilos of tomatoes. What would the price be if we'd picked, if we'd picked 10 kilos of tomatoes? The price would be 2 times 10 plus 10. What would that equal? 2 times 10 is?
30.
Yeah, so all up, sorry, it's the ruler. It's causing grief. It would equal 30, yeah? So what you can do, you're only sketching it, so it doesn't really matter. Let me delete that bit out of the way. It doesn't really matter where you do it. So I'm going to say when we have 10 kilos picked, the price is 30. So see, there's an N and there's a P. And then you've got 2 points. That's all you need. And then you just draw your line like that, okay? So that's fine. You've done what they've asked you there for B. So this was A, this is B. And now use the rule to find the amount of the amount it costs when you pick 9 kilos. So N equals 9. So the price will equal 2 times 9 plus 10. What would that be? 2 times 9 is 18 plus 10 is $28. Good. And the last one, when they say the number of kilos of tomatoes picked if the worker earns $57. So they've given me, is that a price? Yes? If they've given me a price, what you need to do is you put the price, you know the formula is this, 2n plus 10. You've just been told the price is 57. So you write 2n plus 10. Oh, God, sorry. So, what's it doing that for? Okay, so you know that it's 2n plus 10, sorry. So once you've got that, all you can do, you can use your solve function when it's in that spot, when it's the actual n one you need to know. So you go solve. How do we get the solve function again? Do you remember? Yeah, good. Menu 3-1. So we got that on our calculator by menu 3-1. Excellent. And we can solve that, and that will be, what would that be? I think it's going to be. So we find out that n equals 23.5 kilograms. That's how many kilograms they picked to earn $57. All right, so